Hey guys, how are you? Welcome at February Garden Live. On location, Phil. On
In
location.
the garden centre, we're back.
We've been pumping this up. We're halfway through, maybe a transformation, maybe 3/4 of the way through a transformation in our lovely garden centre here. So what better time to get out here and have a little bit of a better backdrop than our normal, let's say, concrete jungle walls or steel walls. So
Absolutely. There's no settings out here. It's just us and the plants.
That's exactly right. Which is what we want you guys to do. Get out and get in the plants and get involved. So, but we are out here early because just of late, it has been really hot, really, really hot. And with this skin, the heat doesn't go too well. So making sure you slapping, got everything on, the wide brimmer and the sun cream, all that safety stuff before you head out is always a good and a wise tip. We're under some lovely shade cloth sails out here, but we'll keep this nice and short because I'll have to go reapply in a minute, so it's all good.
And we haven't got the hats on, which we probably should have done. But
so we're doing it quickly.
So here we are, 2026. We're in February. Because of that heat, we didn't get out here in January, did we?
Yeah,
so,
all we seem to be doing is water, and I'm sure most people would have had the same sort of situation at home.
And like you said,
trying to keep things watered.
We were out here sort of getting all these racks together and stuff like that. So, like you say, we're probably, halfway through now?
Yes.
So I'm sure that we'll cover it as time goes on and we get ready to sort of re-release it to the public. But
definitely still got some grander plans and a couple of new displays like in our world, in our patio world. Stratco outbacks that'll be coming out into this new garden centre as well, which will be really exciting to see some of that integration of our steel manufacturing products into our wonderful nursery.
But I guess, we're still open for business.
We're never shut, okay? We're making the place safe. We want you to come in and we still want you to shop as much as you can.
So should we touch on, you said about us, slip, slop, slapping.
Yes.
How about the plants?
Yes. With the plants, we've got to be careful, obviously, with this heat that's going around. Certainly your plants will definitely show signs of heat and stress. I know that my famous magnolias at the front of my house, Phil, lovely as a backdrop. But I've got plenty that look fantastic and going really well because we've kept the water up. We've made sure that they're fed really well and they've been going okay, but I've still got the same thing. That real hot week that we had, you could see that the plants were starting to show that little bit more of a wear. The leaves started to droop. Just kept that frequency of the water up a bit more because mine aren't on an automated system, so I definitely have to get out there and hand water them.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen over the last month, the conversation is certainly in the store or in the garden centre swapped to, am I watering correctly?
Yes.
I guess there's this sort of conception that, the temperature goes up, you just have to water, which isn't necessarily right.
Yeah.
It's you water if you feel the plant needs it. Get out there and check it. And every garden's going to be different. There's no way for us to turn around and say, to every single customer, water the same. Put your sprinkler system on for this amount of time, and your garden's going to be amazing. So it really is down to each person to get out there and sort of understand their garden. And I guess that's what summertime's all about. Sort of investigating and making notes, even if you have to, about sort of the good spots in the garden, the bad spots in the garden, and how, once you get through the heat, you can improve it.
How do we prepare it for next summer?
Does it need a better watering system? Does it need mulching? Perhaps the plants aren't right, I mean, we've had conversations with customers just this week in regards to certain plants that they've put in and they just don't seem to be thriving in that spot.
Yeah.
I think, plants can be a little bit of trial and error. So, you're not going to get it right 100% of the time.
No.
That's okay.
That's a part of the way
You can dig them out, pop them in a pot, put them somewhere else in the garden.
And that's why we've got experts in these fields as well that love work down in this end of town. So making sure that if you're getting that, make some notes, come in and see one of our wonderful team members and they'll give you some great advice about what's happening.
Yeah.
And work your way through it.
And how you can reuse those plants. If for some reason it's not working in a certain spot, how can you make that better for that spot in the garden and get the best out of the plant you've got?
So try and get to it obviously before it's gone too far. We talked about watering techniques and things like that as well, and it's you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Phil, but lawns are very much more of a deeper, longer soak is what they prefer, less frequent.
Yeah, and you can almost put in there inconsistent waters as well, because you want to encourage well, in this case lawns, but generally plants in general, to want to go and find that water. So if you're deep watering, you're training those roots to go down deeper and find that water by themselves, which long term means that you won't be so reliant on having to get out there and do your own watering.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I know in the nursery here, guys, they're constantly, we've got a great watering system, but constantly during those sort of real hotter days or those real sort of, let's say, dry, windy days, they're constantly hand watering direct, around the plant to make sure that it has a good amount of water and soakage around the direct area of the root
100%.
area.
You want to make sure that root ball is wet.
Yeah,
So, but same deal. Like it's easy to turn around and say, I'm just going to go and water the entire garden centre. But, those plants over there may not need what these plants over here need. It's about sort of seeing the signs and understanding, when you're going to have to do that watering.
And we do sell some tools like we've got soil moisture testers. So they're great little tools where you can go along. It's got a stake in it, so you can penetrate down to the base of the roots, and it'll give you a good idea where it's at.
Excellent.
Versus the old school finger test in the ground.
I don't know that you can go past the old school finger test
and see if that's actually moist or not, and see how we go. But the other things I think we've mentioned in the past are talking about different sorts of mulching you can do, and even we were just discussing before. Things that are almost like health tonics for plants, which is like your sea sols and so forth, or your seaweed sort of based products, Phil.
Seaweeds, like those sorts of products have for years now been sort of the go-to, not for feeding purposes, but like a tonic.
Yeah.
So it seems to help the roots in stressful situations and protect them. It's a great idea to apply them. We're not talking a lot about fertilising at the moment because you don't really want to encourage too much growth because growth needs water to sort of survive. But at the right times, an application of a bit of liquid nitrogen certainly helps to sort of keep away the sort of yellowing of the plant, that tiredness that they can get.
Sure. Yeah. Just like a little health kick, or at least maybe taking your vitamins every day almost.
Sort of like that, like a probiotic.
Like a probiotic. Look at us go. No worries. What else is happening?
We did talk about the watering the lawns. I guess another way to sort of minimise the amount of water you have to put on your lawns is also by raising your lawnmower.
Yep. 1 or 2 notches.
Couple of notches. And just allow the sort of the foliage of the lawn to make sure that it doesn't dry out too quickly.
Yep.
A little bit of thatch build up in the lawn's not terrible either, really, because that'll act like a mulch there as well. You can remove thatch in springtime if you need to, but through summertime it's okay to have it.
Fair enough. We're talking about pruning as well, only light pruning, these sort of things. Sometimes we, if you see signs of stress on your plants and they do look a little bit like they're weathered and they're looking a bit untidy, that sometimes we can be a bit gung-ho to get in there and snip them back and try and get rid of a lot of that dead foliage and so forth. But just be careful and mindful that we're still in February. And looking maybe like we might have a pretty solid sort of still heat patch for the next few weeks anyway. So just be mindful about going too hard too early.
Yeah, the weekend's looking like mid-30s again.
Yeah,
so
perfect
you're exactly
weather.
right. So leave those damaged leaves on as late as possible. Just acts as a bit more sun protection for the plant. There'll be plenty of time come like late March, April to get there and do the pruning that you need to do for sure.
And I'd imagine if your gardens are anything like mine, I mean, this sort of weather on the weekends is a perfect time for weeding. Because as soon as you get a little bit of moisture and watering, good sun comes out, bang, they're everywhere. So I probably should have prepped mine a bit more with the weed mat, I would have thought. But it's good fun. Nothing wrong with spending a couple of hours out in the garden, pulling all those weeds out, tidying it up, getting that dead foliage off the ground. It just looks spectacular when you come home.
Give the kids the option, $1 a bucket of weeds, I reckon.
Exactly right. Get the workers going. Absolutely get the kids engaged and get them out there. That's made more hands the merrier when it comes to weeding.
The only danger with that is you might end up with like a bucket full of tomato plants.
Yeah, exactly right. Make sure they actually understand what a weed is and what a healthy looking plant is. Exactly right.
Yeah, pull that one out.
Yeah, exactly right. But other than that, look, we just want you to enjoy your gardens, enjoy the weather that we've got coming on. Hopefully there's not too many more the north 40-degree days. Lovely sort of days around that 30 mark. We'll be happy with that, wouldn't we? Absolutely, and we'll continue to enjoy February and look forward to March, I reckon. Yeah, bring it on. Stay safe. See ya.